Hey, Shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All right. First and foremost, call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Dash, and of course, double honors go out to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who through the Holy Spirit continue to teach us this truth. All right. And we in turn try to impart this unto you. All right. We're out there on the highways and byways, uh, week in, week out. And like we also tell you, time grows short. And you can already see these devils start to make moves, all right, try to get uh, this message shut down. So it's like, get it while the getting's good, all right? Let's see. So here we have this demon here. She was Health and Human Services Secretary under Obama. All right, this is from the Tennessee Star. And hey, just be advised, these devils, these various um, countries gotten their orders. They know the plan. They're starting to close ranks. They're starting to tighten that grip, tighten that noose, so to speak. All right. Anyway, it goes on to say, unvaxxed should not be able to work, access children, roam freely. What have you? Oh, what have the apostles, Great Millstone, always told you, and those elders under them, that this is shaping up? You don't believe Revelation 13, 16, and 17? You can't see how this is shaping up to happen just like the scriptures say? Then you are truly blinded. Listen to how this is worded, unvaxxed. Now we know there's not a damn thing out there, so there's something going on here. Yes, there is a COVID. I'm not saying it's not. I'm talking about how this is portrayed, how this is used. Something no, maybe a little bit stronger than the common cold, maybe, that they've used to lock down this planet to further their agenda. All right? And we see this, and this is what makes a lot of us so angry because, but you have to understand, this is prophecy, this is scriptural. A lot of people are blinded because they are, after all, Babylonians, true Babylonians, right? They are so caught up in this that they can't see, all right, uh, what's happening right before their eyes. The unvaxxed, I got to read this again. The unvaxxed should not be able to work, access children, roam freely. All right. Here's what I mean when I say these devils are tightening ranks. All right. In the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte threatens to jail those who refuse the vaccine. And you know, this guy doesn't play. So he's following suit too, despite all his rhetoric when he first got in. And what do we have here? France. This is their president. This guy here, Macron. If you enter a pub without COVID big pharma vaccines, passport, you face 6 months in jail. So they're cutting off access slowly, well, not even slowly, but like I say, things are speeding up. All right. And I had posted on the group chat earlier today where Canada has ordered, has got back orders all the way up until like 2024. So They know that this is going to continue ahead of time. See, people, this is not really that hard. You just have people that refuse to believe that you've been serving under some evil, twisted pieces of crap who sense that, and I'm talking about the nation of Edom, the so-called white people, especially the elites that run this world. They sense that their time is growing short. That's Revelation 12 and 12. If you have the understanding, you understand that whole chapter there. All right? It's talking about Israel, and then the devil and Satan is talking about, in the physical sense, it's talking about the so-called white man, the nation of Edom. All right? These two blood/seed lines have been fighting it out ever since the beginning. All right, but back to the topic of discussion here, and that's, man, look at that. You can just, I can't wait to see these people go down. Anyway, so it says former Obama administration Secretary of Health and Human Services Kathleen Sebelius announced on CNN's Out Front that people who have chosen to not get the waters should be limited in their movements, not be allowed to work, and have limited or no access to children. Wait a minute, and this raises something as far as I'm concerned, because I refuse to take a shot. You're going to take my children? And what, give them to some LGBTQ or whatever people? That's better. And what they're not telling you also is that more people are beginning to, of course, they got to, play with the numbers. But especially in Britain now, the UK, they're talking about there's more people dying from the effects of this thing, these injections, than the supposed actual disease. See? So each way they go, they're being proved liars. Anyway, she says, Sebelius, we're in a situation where we have a wildly effective vaccine, multiple choices, lots available, free of charge, and we have folks who are just saying, I won't do it. I think that it's time to say to those folks, it's fine if you don't choose to get the waters. You may not come to work. You may not have access to a situation where you're going to put my grandchildren in jeopardy. Now they're playing on people's feelings, on their emotions, where you might kill them, or you might put them in a situation where they're going to carry the virus to someone in a high-risk position. Liars, people. Let's go play some of this video.
And, the hesitancy we've seen is for getting vaccines, right, is contributing to this precipitous drop in the pace of vaccination in this country. And as you point out, we saw it at CBAC. We're seeing it from Republican lawmakers, from other Trump supporters, right? Pushing the hesitancy, pushing the resistance onto others. Here's just a brief summation.
Don't come knocking on my door with your Fauci outie. You leave us the hell alone.
Do you know any people who got sick or died from the virus?
I know 3 people who got it and died. But you know what? I know people who got cancer and died too.
So you know 3 people who died from coronavirus, and you won't get the vaccine?
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't need the vaccine.
The government was hoping that they could sort of sucker 90% of the population into getting vaccinated, and it isn't happening, right? There's younger people.
You heard the cheers. You heard a man who was saying, equating cancer to the virus when there's virus, obviously a vaccine that would prevent those deaths. What's your reaction when you hear all this?
Well, it's horrifying. I don't know any cancer patient who, if they were offered a shot that was 90% effective, wouldn't take it in a heartbeat. Any So we are in a situation where we have a wildly effective vaccine, multiple choices, lots available, free of charge, and we have folks who are just saying, I won't do it. I think that it's time to say to those folks, it's fine if you don't choose to get vaccinated. You may not come to work. You may not have access to a situation where you're going to put my grandchildren in jeopardy, where you might kill them, where you might put them in a situation where they're going to carry the virus to someone in a high risk position. That's, I think, the point where we are. Is freedom is one thing, but freedom when you harm others, like secondhand smoke and issues that we've dealt with very clearly in the past. You can't drive drunk. You can drink, but you can't drive drunk because you can injure other people. You can't smoke inside of a public place where you can give cancer to someone else in spite of their never having been a smoker. So I think we're reaching that point in the United States where those of us who are vaccinated, I want to take off my mask. I want to be able to live my life with vaccination. And right now, I'm being impinged on by people who say, I don't want to get vaccinated. It's fine, but I want them to maybe have a limitation on where they can go and who they can possibly infect.
All right. Thank you very much, Secretary. I appreciate your time tonight.
Clearly, you can see what they're doing here. All right, they're making a separation on purpose, and they're stirring people's emotions to the point where you're going to have these people that have gotten this crap, all right, and that think that they're safe, all right. They're pitting them against people who nothing is wrong with them. All they want to do is go about their life, but the idiots that believe in this, all right, they're being used, all right, and they don't even realize it. And this is what, I'm telling you, it's going to be, people are going to be at each other's throats out here. And, of course, where it's going to end, Civil war is going to turn into, something more major. And while people are preoccupied with that, they're going to institute this new world order. They're going to bring in this money system, all right, digital. And again, you're going to see, talk about a vice grip, all right. And this is what this is shaping up to be. And people are so preoccupied with this BS that they can't see what's right in front of their face. I mean, to use something as simple as this, who would have thought? But it makes perfect sense. It's like, it makes perfect sense. But again, others can't see this. Let's look at some scriptures here. Let's go to, actually I want to go back a little further here. Let's go to Psalms. So as soon as I get there. All right, this is Psalm 141. It says an evening prayer for sanctification and protection. That's the heading. Let's go down here. This is Psalm 141 and 9. It says, keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity. So they said the same things twice because a snare is also known as a gin. All right. Verse 10, it says, let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst that I withal escape. It's so sad that you've got people that are allowed to breathe through the same air as you do, that continually keep coming up with these schemes, all right, because at the end of the day, all right, they know, and I'm talking about the elites now, because hey, Joe Sixpack, he might just now be starting to, if they've seen the videos and they, damn, there's something to this. These people, like, no matter what they try to do, they're always something mysterious comes up and knocks them off. Talking about our people, and they, when we tell them the curses and everything, they're like, okay. Some of them will like, damn, that makes sense actually. And then some of them say, nah, nah. It can be anybody else, but them niggers. Nope, 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 nope. I will not accept. And you have those people, but so what? Doesn't matter. Romans says that. Let me get that real quick. It doesn't matter if you believe or not. All right. This is the Most High doing this. And of course, it says, all the world guilty is a heading. And it says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua without effect? It says, the Most High forbid, yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mayest be justified in thy sayings and mayest overcome when thou art judged. All right, and we know these curses that we're under. There's one in there that says these curses are a sign that they would stick. They would be, in other words, an identifier to who are the Israelites. And this is Psalm 146. And the heading here is the Most High Yahweh, an abundant helper. All right. And this is something that, going back to Isaiah chapter 30 and chapter 31 and 36 also, it says this is a problem of our people throughout history, putting our faith and our trust in man, but especially our enemies for help. Lamentations 4 and 17, all right, we look for these people to help us, and that's vain, all right, it's empty. This is Psalm 146 and 3. It says, put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. Now, that Son of Man is not talking about Yahushua, all right, the Son of the Most High. It's talking about mortal man, all right? And the next verse solidifies that. Verse 4, it says, his breath goeth forth, he returneth to his earth, and that very day his thoughts perish. All right, it says, happy is he, verse 5, that hath the God of Jacob, or the power of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Most High Yahweh, his power. All right, which made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that therein is, which keepeth truth forever, which executeth judgment for the oppressed, which giveth food to the hungry. The Most High Yahweh looseneth the prisoners. And that's why prayer is so important here, because these devils got plans for us. I'm looking at all this. Oh, they got plans. You got to remember Psalms 49, right? 49:11. They think that their houses are to continue forever. Paraphrasing. All right. You think they want to give this power up, this rulership, the elites, of course, over the Israelites? So all those, you got to remember, all these people are coming together. Psalms 83. They don't want us to become a nation again. All right? They do not. Now, here's an insert. When I went back to France, it says, President Emmanuel Macron announced earlier this week that those unable to prove got the waters, or at least have a negative test, in parentheses, at their own cost, got to remember that, will be banned from using public transport, entering a cinema, shopping mall, bar, cafe, restaurant, and other venues from August 1st on. What does that sound like? Wait a minute. Could it be? Could it be? No, it couldn't be that simple. No. This is the heading, of course, the beast from the sea. This is Revelation 13. And we get down here, and it says, lo and behold, verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor. Is not everybody affected by this? Free and bond. Now we know that some of the bond have been promised, it'll take some time off if you take these waters. All right? How much more when the actual chip comes? It says to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads. 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Now they're treating this already with the waters. How much more if you don't have that MOTB? It says, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And of course, 18, might as well finish it out. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 666. Sakai Sig. Holy. See there? Now let's go back to this. It's Dr. David Samadi. It says there will soon, he's a doctor. Prison sentence. There will soon be prison sentences attached to the new French law for Maxine Waters passports. If you are caught in a restaurant without proof of getting the waters, you face up to 6 months in jail. The restaurant owner faces up to a year for hosting you. So see, they're coming at them and providing them, you better do this, in other words. Oh, now that's some encouragement for your ass. I'm going to give the guy that you let in 6 months, but you, for letting him, I'm going to give you a year. Now you don't think that's going to send a strong message? Now he goes on to finish it with the question. He said, does that sound extreme? The sanctions represent the most authoritarian move to force the waters in the West and probably outstrip a lot of actual dictatorships in other parts of the world. So you got to ask yourself, what's the desperation here? What the fuck is going on? We tried to tell you people these motherfuckers going to start showing their horns. You would not listen. So a lot of us are sitting back, yes, you stupid motherfucker. A hard head makes a soft ass. And there's going to be a lot of soft, well, I'm not going to go there, but you get the point. It says the Guardian rather euphemistically describes it as big stick approach, and it is, which would be true if that big stick were an electric cattle prod the size of the One World Trade Center building in New York. All right. It says the government had to withdraw a similar law back in December following numerous riots, but merely reintroduced the same legislation with even tougher punishments for dissenters. See, let you have your little freedom there. Well, we'll back off. And we told you this also. We back off, let them have their little, their little freedoms. They think everything's going back to normal, and boom! Ha ha ha! You thought we were finished? So, for time's sake, I'm just going to post this. And I got to say, hey, we told you so. We told you these things were going to happen. So, there you have it. Like I say, they're starting to close ranks. We're going to hear more countries saying we're going to threaten jail or prison, whatever, if you do not get this. You gotta, hey, when have you ever seen, like I say, this is the perfect opportunity for these devils. There's several, I'm trying to think of, I just saw it today. It's called what is it? It's a book that some guy that was it's called Verbatim. The book is called Verbatim, and it's this guy. He was part of the Bilderbergers, and this is predicted, I think, in the early '80s. He predicted this and told you how it was going to happen. He's not the only one. All right. So, hey, I hope whoever views this as usual is edified to what's really going on here. That's what we aim to do here at Great Millstone. This is all done, of course, with the intent of helping to wake up the hopeful elect, all right? Because we can't do it. This is something that comes from on high. This is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, okay? All we can do is water it, and, they provide the increase. That's all we can do. Hey, so with that, shalom, shalom, shalom.